Adishima Maya Sama Munina Kwab Eba CJTV so Omayimu Amaho Johnson Semin Saka Medeveda Ashafo Etiefo Enina like share comment subscribe where YouTube no ase emayen Akusuya dankwa enemy din obetimi nso afremi na wonzo gojebre na mencheche ensem nimu emfa emmamo
me pacho so obi ready so beti.
I'm sure everybody is ready and attentive to listen.
Now, so for Nana Kwesi at the plane.
Reverend Nana Kwesi was with me on the flight.
Kofi wa mumfre Kofi mra. And I'm a second born.
And my second born.
Also for Kofi mame. And I'm Madame Fubia. Your friend Nana Prempe. And he didn't say. Nana say to.
And a friend of mine who is called Nana Osei-Tutu.
Your friend Prince Nana Osei-Tutu.
He's called Prince Nana Osei-Tutu. He's from the palace. He's from the royal family. And I'll not disclose the reason why we went with him. He's from the royal family.
And yes, South Africa near call you. And yes, we call Johannesburg.
We did not travel to South Africa or Johannesburg, but we actually went to Swaziland.
Swaziland for
where the king of Swaziland resides.
Now, I just saw Johannesburg and Sana would the plane at Twaso.
But if you are going to Swaziland, you must make a stop at South Africa before you connect another flight to Swaziland. I want everybody to be attentive. Don't despise what I'm about to say. So today when you get home, use what you are going to hear to revive your faith.
You fly free Hanoma. Now a 5 hours flight. 5 hours and 30 minutes. You take it 10 hours. And 11 hours.
So in the trip from Ghana to South Africa was within 10 to 11 hours.
Nah, Kofi bra. What do you know? Cheni na amra. Fa o cheni na no bibi abra. Bonsama Kofi.
Put your hands together for Kofi Isaac.
Nah, yaduru. Baby, Ethiopia. You're from Addis Ababa.
So,
Addis Ababa.
When our first flight landed at Addis Ababa,
now you're full plane.
So we were boarding another flight.
Johannesburg.
To Johannesburg.
You're plane,
as soon as we entered the plane, please listen attentively.
I
was not asleep.
Demons.
All of a sudden, I saw demons entering the plane. They were smallish, but they had long ears. And they had some tiny horns on top of their head.
Wings at a bat,
and their wings were like that of a bat. I saw that these demons invaded the plane. All of a sudden, I saw these demons mopping the aeroplane.
But
there was no death
why?
In the plane. So when I gained my consciousness, I was asking, what am I seeing? What is happening? So as I was seeing them, I thought they had also seen me. But it looks like they could not identify me or they could not see me. But I was looking at them. All of a sudden,
business class.
I saw two of these demons went to stand beside a certain woman at the business class. One was holding a sword and the other was holding an arrow. And they were so furious as they were standing beside the woman. I also don't know the woman. So I saw that these demons had finished mopping inside the aeroplane and they were done and they left. With the two who were standing beside the woman, they also left. So I was asking myself that what is happening? What am I seeing? What does this mean? So I also asked the Lord to give me an explanation to what has been revealed unto me. But I didn't hear anything.
Your plane are ready, take it off.
So everything was set for us to depart.
Exit ebi waha say demonstration in awie. So the small car I am a push plane be push a plane now just say bibia is on course.
So the air hostess had finished giving their making their presentation about the safety rules whenever you board a flight or whenever you are boarding a flight, and the plane was moving backwards to the position where it must begin to
pilot
take the flight.
Wachire hours dudua yedi be free baby e wono akọ Johannesburg.
To the point where the pilot also announced the hours that we are going to stay in the air.
Obi a watena play mu da bia nim o ma kire aduane a omde be maye ama ye book a obi a nhwem no nchu so aduane o pe me pese me kire say bibia ye set.
So they are giving us a menu for us to go through so that you have the opportunity to choose or the privilege to choose the meal that you want or you prefer. So everything was set.
Engine is condition BPR.
So the engine had already been started, everything was intact.
Yeah, full plane in an engine is so that.
So before we boarded the plane, the engine was already on. Yeah. Everything was set.
Afei yati plane sa plane move ya de hu ya ne say engine ni nyina ko off.
So as the plane started moving, before they will increase the acceleration, everything came to a stop. The engine stopped. The engine shut down.
Pilot also anka bibi ankyere but a doom.
The pilot did not say anything. No announcement was made before everything went off. So I was quiet in the plane. I was sitting down quietly in the plane.
And I rather catch them and say, Nia esi ewo form and kebesi wasro.
So as I was sitting down quietly, the Lord spoke to me and he said, what has happened here while the aircraft is on the ground was meant to happen in the air.
Angel akuta sword bejina plane anim nti akire kura san na rade catch them so on the soma angel no am obe stop plane no because demons are planning so on be crash plane no wasoro, not because of me, not because of obi o plane no, but nipa ba ko pe binti.
So an angel appeared to stand in front of the aeroplane with a sword. So it was after the incident that the Lord was giving me details about all that happened, and he told me that he was the one who sent the angel to come and stop the plane from flying. So if you ask Reverend Nana Kwesi and my son Kofi,
engine call off.
When the engine went off,
just like that. Pilot no cry nim say engine be call off because everything is okay.
And the pilots themselves didn't know that the engine was going to shut down. But it took everybody by surprise. And because of the revelation that I had,
something is not right.
I told myself that something was not right.
What happened? I'm sorry you plane.
So I stood up in a plane.
And I'm a call near Oya announcer in chain.
And I went straight to the supervisor.
And I'm a bus and said, BB Koso.
So I asked her, what is going on? Something is happening.
And also, okay, Oba. So
she also told the prophet that she should give her some few minutes.
And I'm
also
a pilot for no.
So she went to where the pilots are.
Oba no catch him say pilot for no say omunim the reason until plane no yes sir. But
so
almost a technical problem na almost say take care of it.
So when the supervisor returned, she told the prophet that this is there was a minor technical issue and they are handling it, so everything will be fine.
And I'm saying no.
So
BB Koso.
So the prophet insisted that no, something is going on.
And to original plane.
So I stood up in the plane.
And
I shouldn't have behaved like that.
And I'm saying
and I said, all the passengers on board, listen to me.
Plane way the sea of form and kebesi was.
What we just experienced on ground would have happened when we were airborne. It's by the grace of God that it happened when we were on land. So with me, I have seen something. So with me and my children and my friend, we are getting out of the plane. But anyone who wants to die, stay in the plane.
South Africa minister and a
so it was at this time that someone shouted from the back that the woman sitting in front, the person sitting in front is a minister from South Africa.
So from
the direction that the person who shouted pointed, I thought it was a certain man.
Oh, in fact,
and their appearance signified that they were prominent people. So I went straight to them.
Minister.
And I told them that I'm a minister.
Plane na yetimono. Se yakosotenam na san take off ye nyina ye bewu owiem. Enti one na minister. Okon kanche pilot ne say me si plane ntimi fly.
So I told this person that I am a minister and I'm telling him that if we continue to stay on board and the airplane takes off, we are going to die.
And I say, please, can you go and sit down?
And the man said, please, can you resume your seat?
And I'm saying, you want me to go and sit down?
And I told him, do you expect me to go and sit down?
Me, I won't sit down.
With
if
me,
you like,
I'm not going to sit down. But if you want or you prefer,
me,
you can sit down.
My family, we are going out.
But as for me and my family, we are going out of the plane.
And this flight can never fly.
And this aeroplane can never fly. This aeroplane can never fly. If you like, you can challenge me. So they started the engine again. So the air condition was not working well. Instead of cooling the air, the air was becoming hotter.
South Africa minister network no beka kire me say enya papa no omumi enu ye ne bodyguard but maame no na je say maame na mu say demons no abegina ne nchen ne say ono a ena me call maame ne nchen direct.
So the gentleman who shouted about the minister from South Africa pointed the woman to me, that there is a woman rather who is the minister from South Africa, but the men behind him are her aides.
And I'm saying, minister, my family and I, We are going out.
So I told the minister,
if you want to die, you stay in this flight.
So I told the minister that as for me and my family, we are getting down.
And I'm sure
she can fly with this flight.
Come and follow me.
So I shouted in a plane that anybody who does not want to die, follow me and let's get off this flight. So people begin to rise up from their seats. So they came to call the minister, who was the woman seated in front, and they took her to where the pilots are. Minister ne baya no do omu krom kasa ka bibia kire ne body guys mienu. The mu yan so o ma for o bag o mu be piako. And I'm so wow. So when the minister came back, the minister is going. He said something to her bodyguards in their native language, and all of a sudden I saw that these gentlemen took their bags. So what did the woman hear from the pilot that she came to take her bodyguards? And I'm getting off the plane. So I told all of them that have you seen that they are taking the minister out because he is of more relevance. They are taking her out. So some men came into the flight and was in charge. And the person said, he is the one in charge. What is the problem? And what is the problem? And I'm catching this plane. So I told him that, gentleman, you know something? This airplane cannot fly. If you try, it will crash in the air. And you're warning, because something is going on. And what would have caused the plane crash is what has happened here, as a warning or as a sign to us that we should not fly. Engineers. So afterwards, he told me that they have called their engineers and they are working on it, and within the shortest possible time, they will finish with their work. So after about 30 minutes, announcement came from the pilots saying problem is very difficult. That they are having some difficulties. They are having some difficulties with the engine. So they will not be able to fly. Put your hands together for the Lord. Gentleman beer on any wife at Timechi. So there was a gentleman and his wife who were seated behind me. Nobleman. Some nobleman. Free baby or one and so he came from his seat. Save our souls. And he shook my hand and said, you have saved our souls. And I'm saying, glory be to Jesus. And he said, and I said, glory be to Jesus. Afei, Bakusubaya or see you are the man. And another person also came and he said, you are the man. You have saved us. So everybody came out of the airplane. They tried all their best. They still could not fly the plane. So we were given another airplane. So with Reverend Anna, Kofi, my friend and myself, we were seated and we were having our own conversation. That was when the Lord brought to my understanding the reason why the airplane was going to crash. It was because of the minister. There is a contention between this minister and some spirits. And these spirits have become so furious. There are two things. It's either they've offered their help to her, or someone is contending with this woman about her position. So when we left where we were seated, So when they came to call us from where the launch that they gave us to board a new flight, they went ahead of us. So when they got there and they could not find me, they were asking about, where is this minister? Where is this minister? So it was when we got there that they said, so far as we have the minister with us, we are safe to fly.
Enunti menesonfunana ene me ba Kofi ne madam for no.
So with Reverend Nana,
Kofi
and my friend,
oh, this is the minister. So, if the minister is going, then we are going. If the minister is flying, then we are going to fly. But if this minister is not going, we will go.
So when we entered the bus that was taking us to the tarmac for us to board the new flight, they were saying that so far as the minister of God is flying with us, we are safe. So far as he's coming with us, we will fly.
Minister.
So in the bus, everybody was looking at the minister.
I believe some of I'm a political minister.
I believe
some a reverend minister, but
I believe some thought I was a minister of state, but I'm a reverend minister. Not knowing there were some Ghanaians who were on board.
And they know me.
So they were telling the other passengers that they know this man. So when we boarded the new flight, so everybody wanted to be sure if I was on the new flight. There were some who just came to where I was sitting to just come and look at my face and smile.
Your next plane, it taking off.
So the next plane took off. So I wanted everybody's heart to be at peace. So I intentionally stood up and walked to where Reverend Nana Kwesi and Kofi were sitting. So I was telling Reverend Nana Kwesi and Kofi that this plane will take us safely. But I said it on top of my voice for everyone to hear me. So those who were clapping. Those who were happy were happy. They were celebrating their joy. And by the grace of God, we landed peacefully. So when we landed,
and I remember my crying na me de ensem nyina esi. We da wo bi biara ase. Mamu mo any share any tia. Adehye.